And we're back. There's a house is being built across the road from me, so I don't know if you're going to be able to hear the noise. If you can, I'm sorry. But I want to film this in front of my collection because it seemed appropriate. Yeah, it's a video response to Bordersdude, my good friend John. It's Get to Know Your Transformers Collectors 2016 edition. This is the first time I've done a video like this, so this is good, I think. Well, I've answered most of these questions in other videos, but, you know, just to put it out there because everyone else is, and it's good fun. Yay! So, first question, when did you start collecting? I don't remember, I think it was either 2010 or 2011, and funnily enough, it was actually John, Bordersdude himself, that got me into collecting. I've loved Transformers for a long time. I've told the story before, so I'll not tell it. But basically, he got me a couple of little Transformers for my birthday that year. Where are they? He got me a little Jazz. I don't remember what line it is and stuff. And a little Hound. And I love them. Hound is still in the exact same condition he gave me him in. He's lovely and new still, looking. Jazz, however, though, I mean, for the longest time, Jazz was my, like, lucky charm, and he came everywhere with me, and if you look at him, he is in terrible... Do you know what? If anyone's got a wee Jazz like this that'd love to sell me for dirt cheap, I'd love it, because he needs retired. I can't take him anywhere anymore. But yeah, these were the first two I got, and that led me to start buying more. I started buying for the shops. I mean, they had the sort of the tiny little legend size sort of classic look ones. I got those ones. Then Prime, the Prime TV show came out, and they had loads of amazing figures, and it's kind of spurred on for there. It wasn't until TFNation last year. TFNation. Wasn't until AA last year, which was my first convention, that I started buying sort of more, like, eclectically, if that's the right word. Like, I started buying, I got some Generation 1 stuff. Like, my quest to begin with was to get the toys I remember having as a kid, which was things like Power Master Prime, G1 Menacer, quite a few things that actually, and I'm all but two away from getting all the figures I remember having, which is fun. But yeah, things like, I started buying, I got a couple of like random figures that I don't know what line they were from, but they were cool, and I started picking up Universe and Generations and all sorts. I've got a couple of animated figures. I watched that TV show, it's awesome. But yeah, started in 2011 thanks to Bordersdude, and it was something I'd wanted to do for a long time. I'd been retro gaming collecting, but Transformers was one of these things where I just needed a push, and those two figures for my birthday were the push I needed. So thank you. Favourite character? Now, I don't really have one, I don't think. I have favourite characters within each iteration of the show and stuff. But I don't have one that's... I mean, the same as John, I've got a lot of love for Ultra Magnus. And the more I read about his character, even, is it the IDW stuff, where it's not really Ultra Magnus, it's more the Magnus armor, all that kind of stuff. I like his character. I like that he's like... Do you know what? Now this is probably going to cause a lot of shit, but I don't like Optimus Prime in most of the things that are out. The films are, in my opinion, terrible, so I don't like him in that. I love his toys are cool, and I love the figure, I love the way he looks apart from his face. But the toys are cool, but the character's shit. Even in Prime, Transformers Prime, he was just redundant. He was just like a means to an end in each story. He was never really the main thing. He never really did much other than just be Optimus Prime. And even I've started watching the RID stuff, and it's good. It's okay. It's watchable. But Prime in that, they may as well just have called him fucking Alpha Prime or Spaghetti Prime, because he's no Optimus Prime. He just fills a purpose in a role to continue the story, and that's kind of shit considering that Optimus Prime is our big hero. I do love Prime. I do love Optimus. I've got an Optimus shelf. There, you can't see for the fucking light stuff. I mean, I've tried to get light in here and it's shit, but I've got a Prime shelf. I've got a Magnus shelf, which does feature repainted white Optimus Prime mold, but that's just the bulk of the shelf. So, favourite character? I really like Ratchet in Prime, voiced by Jeffrey Combs. He was awesome. He was such a good character. The thing is, especially with the Prime, I'm going to keep mentioning Prime, but with that series, a lot of the characters were really good. in their own wee way, and they did things right. If I had to like gun to my head pick one, then it would be Ultra Magnus. I think, yeah, I'm gonna go with Ultra Magnus. He's just an all rounder, isn't he? So I mean, I should have a favourite, but I mean, I'm the kind of person I look for the best in all things when it comes to robots. So I've got things I like about loads of characters and stuff, but the one I identify with is Ironhide. Like if someone says to me which Transformer would you be, like which closely represents you, then Ironhide I think is the closest I could say. But he's not particularly a favourite of mine. I hope that answers the question. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. Favourite show? Prime. Transformers Prime. I mean, my collection started there, but the animation in that show is really tight. It's really nice, and it's really, like, it's minimalist in some respects, but it's also there's micro details that make it really nice, and when you watch it over and over, you notice them and stuff. But it was just a tight show. The humans weren't annoying. They weren't in it too much. There was a good balance of humans and robots. The characters were really good and fleshed out, apart from Prime, obviously. I loved Bulkhead, I loved Knockout, I loved Ratchet, I could stand Bumblebee, RC was awesome. It just was the first show that, especially the first Transformers show, where I was waiting to see the next one. I was like, fuck, is the next one up yet? Because I wanted to watch it. Even though sometimes it wasn't a continued story, I was just ready to see the next one. And that's what made it good for me. RID is just, it's aimed at kids, so it's not really, it has like hat tips to the other iterations and stuff, and it is apparently a continuation of Prime. I say apparently it is. I mean, it's got Shockwave and Ratchet in it, and it follows on for the story of Transformers Prime. But it's just no. It's such a disconnect that it doesn't really tie in my brain anyway. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to say Prime. Transformers Prime is my favourite. What other hobbies do I have? Well, obviously, retro gaming for a long time was my main thing. I got into that, I don't know how many years ago, quite a few years ago now, a couple of years before I started collecting Transformers. I say got into it. I had like my back catalogue of consoles and stuff, like my PS1, my PS2, what else? I can't think what else. Like Xbox Original, no. I had loads of stuff that I'd sold a lot of things. Like a lot of my consoles, I had my N64, but a lot of my consoles, when they broke, I didn't replace them. Like back in the day, I had everything: Saturn, Game Boy, Atari Lynx, briefly. But I got back into retro gaming because it's a bit soul bearing here, but my life went a bit shit, to be honest. No terrible, no like, no anything that's earth shattering, but on a personal level, things became really difficult for me, and I didn't have any way to express it because it seemed to be coming from all sides. And I had no real outlet for it other than focusing on my retro gaming. So I started collecting, I started enjoying, and it was awesome. I don't so much nowadays because I've got my daughter, so for me gaming is a luxury that I can barely afford. No money wise, I mean time wise. I've not got time to sit down at the moment and just fucking play game after game and chill out. And I'll play games at night when she's in her bed. Hang on, I'm going to shut the kitchen door so they can't hear the washing machine. So a game is I try to game as much as I can, but I'm more into just sticking on the PS4 or the Xbox One at the moment and playing the latest Souls game or Elite Dangerous. I'm loving that at the moment. Yeah, but retro gaming's a hobby, a big passion. I don't really know if you can count, like, I'm trying my hand at a few things because I need to find a way to express myself at the moment. And as much as I thought being involved in the Transformers community was going to do that for me, it isn't. So I'm trying to learn the guitar. I'm shit at it, but I'm getting there. I'm trying things like I'm painting and I'm drawing, which I was done since school. I'm just trying to sort of find the one thing that I can say is my thing, and that will constantly get me where I need to be and stuff, and give me the outlet to express myself in a way that I really want to express myself. So yeah, so hobbies are painting, gaming, wanking. Will I be going to TFNation or roll call? No, the second one's too far away, obviously, and costs a lot of money. I don't mind forking out for hotels. It's the fucking, if you don't drive, it's the fucking travel. Return trains, like I've got friends in Nottingham that I wish I could see a lot more, and I can't because I'd have to get the train, and the train's like 130 quid return. It's not a lot of money. I mean it is a lot of money, but it's too much money for me to spend often on just travel. There's just so much more I could be doing with the money. So as much as I'd love to go to things like Roll Call, and because a lot of the sort of the Transformers meetups and stuff seem to be down in England way, and well, I understand that that's where the bulk of the fans that get involved are. So it's quite rightly, why would you bring them all up here rather than just have a few go down there? It's a bit of a pain in the ass. And if I could spare the money, then I would definitely go, because I'd love to. So there's some dudes that I find dead funny online, and it's just dead genuinely nice guys that I like interacting with online, that I'd love to meet in person. Hopefully I'll get to do that at TFNation this year, because I'm going. Yay! I'm starting to get waffly, sorry. AA last year was a fantastic experience for me. It was just, I've said it, go watch my AA video, whichever way it would be, backwards or forwards. It was a fantastic experience, and I really, really, really hope it will be again this year. I think it will be. I have spent so much money this year, so much money on Transformers already. I don't really expect to spend a lot on toys. I've got Devastator. I've got a shelf of Masterpiece figures now, and one up there, and I've got a third-party guy that no one likes there. My Combiner Wars, most of that was bought this year, or at least the tail end of last year as well. What else have I got? I've been collecting G1. I've got the R&D stuff. I've bought well into 100. No, 50. I reckon between 50 and 100 bots this year already, including ones that cost like fucking big bucks for me. So, TFNation for me is going to be about seeing the people, the experience, and interacting. It's very much not going to be about buying toys, because I've already kicked my arse at this year doing that. But I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, so thank you to John for posing these questions. I hope you enjoyed. I'm just going to go. See you.